Looking back to our memories in childhood, we all know that feeling, that sense of pureness, the feeling that we're stress free, and it just has that strange notion around it. You know what I'm talking about. The younger we tend to look back, the more pronounced this feeling gets. Yet, when we were living in those memories back when they're being made, it just felt completely normal. It seems the passage of time itself has distorted these memories, and with most of us actually wanting this feeling of innocence back, yet none of us knew that we had it in the first place. The power of retrospection. What if I told you this divide didn't have to be so big? The big reason why there is this divide is by none other than yourself. The reason why the the past feels weird and now feels normal is often just to do with your own thoughts. Now, I'm not at the age where I can look back, many decades, but even just looking back to my childhood, only a decade ago, those feelings feel weird. And I can guarantee people who are in their, 50s and 60s, their 20s feel, had that weird feeling, and their childhood even more so. And so it was through retrospection that this has happened. So if you're also the kind of person who's obsessed with this stuff, how do you control that? Now, I will say again, there are, of course, biological factors involved, but I'm no scientist, and it's purely just my own opinions. Now, at 18, I can even feel my childhood memories. They have that weird feeling around it. I feel less knowledgeable back then. I feel very small just thinking about it. And as time goes on, more of those memories seem to be almost contaminated in a sense by that feeling. I only have a handful of memories left where I just feel like myself in them. Like I can picture myself in the body. None of that weird stuff. And I can guarantee when I think back to past memories, decades in the future, I'm going to have that weird feeling again. Minus the height aspect, of course. Now, I could yap on for ages saying that, these feelings are by other people's thoughts, not yours, but I don't think that's necessary to explain my point. So, the reason why you'd even think about trying to narrow this gap is the simple fact that you won't feel old as much. Okay, elephant in the room, you of course will age and you will mature. That's a good thing. But that doesn't have to be so exaggerated. And the key fact is you're viewing the past in like a youthful light. And well, you could just not do that. Most people kind of lose touch of their, inner child as they grow up, through society telling them who they are and what they should do. If they kind of bring that inner child back out, maybe that difference will be smaller because, back when your childhood memories, you'll be closer together because you are more like a kid again. And because of that, the past won't feel so strange anymore. It will feel more normal looking back on it because you are more in tune with your inner child. Now, of course, easier said than done, but if you remove that adult mask and you reveal your true self, you can, in a sense, slow your perception of time. Now, it won't, of course, directly do it. You can't exactly do that. But the thing is, when you look retrospectively, that difference will not feel so large. And through that, you can slow your perception of time because the difference will not feel so great because you're almost the same person. Your feelings now feel the exact same, near enough to what they did back then. You know, now feels so much further than your childhood because you're such a different person. Now, of course, that's a good thing that you've changed, but if you become like a kid again, you won't be telling yourself constantly, oh, where did the time go? Moreover, if you bring out your inner child, you'll probably find your purpose. You'll have fun. And like in my first video, which I recommend you watch, you like in the level 2 good state. Thus, time slows down even more. That's one way I thought about slowing down time. Now, the second one isn't really long enough for its own video, so I'm going to include it in this one. So here is the second way in this video that I found to slow down time. So I believe another reason why time flies quickly is because of your job. Now, it's great if you like your job, then this doesn't apply to you. But it's for those people who don't really like their job. I mean, they're okay with it. It's a bit monotonous, but they could do better. Now, one, they don't really like it. That's the first point. And also, the second one is they make it their personality. Now, it would be fine if they liked their job and made it their personality. That'd be fine. But it's those two combined that can make your perception of time go quicker. Let me explain. So, when these two factors combine, you almost skip out the time that you don't like. You ignore it and you look forward to a time that's going to happen in the future, like the weekend, holidays. Those two factors combine to make that where you're future looking. It's because of your job that you don't really like. I mean, there's no wonder time flies by because nothing really happened in that time. You're doing the same thing that you didn't really like, and since you made it your personality, there's nothing really going on outside of work. Your whole life revolved around work, which you don't like, you ignore because of it, and time goes even faster. It's those two combined. Now, it's fine if they're separate. You like your job, or you don't like something else, that doesn't have to be a job. They're fine separately, but together, they create a time that goes really quickly. Now, this makes you often frustrated. You take comfort in distractions, meaningless entertainment, and like in my last video, time goes even quicker because of it. And that was my last explanation and advice to why time goes quickly. I really hope you find these past 3 videos helpful. They've been really enjoyable to make because it's a topic that I find really interesting. As you've noticed, it's all in your head. There are biological factors. I'm not the person to talk to about that, but I feel a lot of it is just to do in your head and your own perception. Now, if you can change that, live life to the fullest, recognize what you're doing that's causing time to go quickly, you can change and slow your perception of time. Now, I myself haven't been able to do that quite, but I still find it really cool that this might be a thing. But with that, thank you.